And here we are back at MJBizCon lobsterpot. I'm Dave Barton. This is Jamie Bonthron.
Hello, it's lovely to be here.
And this is Jamie Bonthron too.
Yeah, that's me. That's how I got in.
Juliana Whitney from CannStrategy and Danny Gold. So good, they named him twice.
I picked a name for the name twice. It's not a bad one, so it's good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you can take that one. There we go.
Take this.
This is going to get awkward otherwise. We're going to be.
Great.
But anyway, welcome. This is obviously you're not your first rodeo here, being well established in the U.S. cannabis industry. How many times have you guys been before?
I think this is 4 for me. I'm going to call it 4.
I've been, I think only twice. And then because I live here, I just go like to the meetings and everything. So it feels like I'm here, but actually walked the floor only twice. Yeah.
We walked the floor on the way in trying to get in, which is cool.
Yes.
I'm not trying to incriminate anyone here.
This
is
might
just
be
fun.
my 3rd time, technically. Yes.
And I know it's early doors, but how does it compare to previous years? I know you know. Is it same scale, same vibe so far? What do you think? I mean, or
I think
jury out.
I'll say I think there's a few emptier booths than usual. There's some noticeable holes. There's some large booths, so I think some people are moving up and obviously doing okay. They've kept the footprint the same, but I feel like there's some holes when you walk through. Like I had more walking room. If that's something, I appreciate it, but I think cannabis has its struggles, so maybe some people got hit hard in the marketing budgets. Always first to go.
Yes.
Understatement.
I concur with that.
Down, we know.
Yes,
It definitely, well, at least it's bigger than when it was at the Rio. Like my first year I ever went, it was at the Rio. So it being here and being able to still be here is at least a good sign. But yeah, this year's been hard for so many companies in the space. So it makes sense if there's kind of fewer booths. It's hot in here. I feel like I did a guide to MJ Biz Survival, and next year I'm gonna write like it's cold outside and hot in the actual thing. Like, know that.
Choose clothing wisely.
Choose your clothing wisely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I came prepared from Denver because we know how to layer, because it was snowing when I left and it had been 72 before, but like Vegas has that going on this time of year, and if people don't, if you're in short sleeves and you get stuck on the strip, layer.
What are your guys' plans for the next couple of days? You've got parties lined up, maybe a little bit of schmoozing, maybe a few meetings. What is it you guys are looking to do?
So much schmoozing. My schmoozing started yesterday for lunch all the way until 1 a.m., which was that's a rough way to start. And that kind of just continues, just meetings, parties. Tomorrow, because every year everyone schedules everything on Thursday night. And so this year I have 5, and I've had to do like 45-minute slivers with travel time in between, so I'm going to be hopping around, I considered actually hiring a chauffeur, but it turns out that is more expensive than an Uber, so I'm sticking with Uber.
I love it. Yeah, tell us more. Tell us more about how these marketing budgets have been cut and your chauffeur. Yeah, one thing I did this year that I haven't done in the last, I don't know how many years of doing conventions here, is I've been getting in cab lines. Like, I feel like with the rise of Lyft and Uber, I was like, fuck the cabs. Screw the cabs. I don't know. Is this PG-13? You said
No, that's just
you said
us.
you were going to be PG-13.
We are PG-13.
I can make the choice for myself.
But not for the podcast. That's just general living in Vegas for the week.
I feel like there's this pendulum of like now everybody Lyft and Ubers, so the cab lines are empty, and the cabs are not any more expensive. So I'll just say I've been taking a lot of cabs, and it's been generally just fine in there. As far as the schmoozing, yes to schmoozing, and 1 a.m. is kind of that's an early turn in for a Vegas night. Maybe not for the first night, but.
7 a.m. wake up, I was like, no.
I try not to schedule anything before 11 a.m. While at BizCon. That's like the earliest I want to take a meeting. And if people say breakfast meeting, I'm like, okay, 11 a.m., perfect. Let's do breakfast at 11. For me, I'll come walk the floor to see what's up and to hang out with you all. There's 2 centers of the universe. It's Parasol up at the Wynn. So if you're trying to schmooze with investors, like that's the bar just to go sit and rub shoulders and try to find a friendly face and then like weave yourself into a conversation. I guess is like most of the MSOs, most of the investors, like the people with money are there. And then it's Chandelier Bar at the Cosmo. Like half the happy hours circle around the Chandelier Bar. And if you don't know like where else to go to the first floor of the Chandelier Bar and you will find somebody in the industry.
Yeah,
they'll probably have a pot leaf on their shirt.
Yeah, we
Go
were there
say hi.
last night. I mean, it was kind of like, I felt so freaking stupid. It's like, where is this Chandelier Bar? Oh, we're standing in the chandelier itself.
It's
I'm
just
like,
inside the
Yes.
chandelier. Yeah.
Might be it.
absolutely. But, I'm still blaming the jet lag. It's been a couple of days, but,
You will lose your voice in Chandelier Bar. The Cosmo is loud. That's like one thing I have is like not conducive to great conversation. It's like small talk and drinks and then splinter. You want to get invited up to like one of the suites at the Cosmo. That's the move. You meet at the Chandelier Bar and somebody says, "Oh, hey, do you want to go out to and go out to our balcony and smoke in our suite?" Yes, and then you can go have a civilized conversation.
And on the topic of smoking or imbibing or ingesting the good stuff, where are the best dispensers? I mean, it's Planet 13. I mean, do we have to believe the hype for Planet 13? Is it that good? We've not been yet.
Planet 13 is a good experience to have at least one time. The dispensaries I love are less hyped up, nationally. But there's one called Cultivate. It's really close. There's Las Vegas Relief is close. New Leaf is close. That's owned by Jushi. There's Thrive. So there's definitely ones that are near the Strip that are good, locally owned, or Jushi's not local, but, locally branded. There's definitely other ones. I'm big on the yes, we all know cookies. Yes, we all know Planet 13. Maybe Reef, but there's the smaller ones to check out, which I think are cooler. I think they are, not dissing anyone. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Planet 13, it's a tourist dispensary. It's an experience that's set up, and it's an experience because you've got the glass windows and see how, some of the products are infused. And if you have no knowledge of cannabis or you're relatively new, that's going to be something you can't see all the time, right? You walk into an average dispensary, they're not going to show you.
So you can actually see sort of product being made sort of thing as well.
Yep.
Oh, wow. So
and they have like interactive experiences and learn about the plant. So that's servicing a need, and I think that's cool. The products are not going to be unique. They're probably not going to be the best priced, and you got to know what you're in for going there, right? So you're probably, if you are a cannabis connoisseur, you're probably not going to find like, oh, what's a unique strain that I'm looking for, or whatever that fire flower is. Like you're gonna have the hook on that. You're gonna talk to the locals where they buy, but you should go. I like some of the Jack Herrera spinoffs, like Jack Flash. I had a friend who grew Jack Flash in Colorado. It was fantastic. My wife and I's favorite strain. Can't find Jack Flash in a dispensary. Like, it's not cool anymore. It's not trendy. It doesn't have piss in the name. Like, I don't know why people don't buy it, but...
Well, how does that dovetail with the whole medical market? I mean, that's what we have in the UK. And we had another podcast with a lady, Callie Seaman, she was telling us about, well, the thing is, a lot of the doctors who are prescribing it, they feel like they're dealers, because what they have, the point of reference is to actually say the strain names when they're kind of prescribing it to you. And I had that exact experience. So talking to this psychologist, kind of doing my medical evaluation online, and she goes, well, we can offer you Ghost Train Haze. I'm like, you're a trained psychiatrist.
Yeah, you just had to say that. Did you say that with a straight face?
I'm just like, I'm here for it if you think that will help.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they're named after fish shows. Like Fall Tour 97 was a strain that came through. You're gonna see a pharmacist be like, Fall Tour 97. I had some real bangers on it. Like that's what I want you to smoke.
What I thought was really cool is kind of when people kind of brand it to talk about the effect that it'll have, because that at the end of the day is what is gonna lower that barrier to access. People who haven't tried it or thinking about it or think it just sounds a bit too wacky. You kind of bring it down. Ultimate sleep or something like that, or that's the sort of thing you want to have. That's what's going to kind of get. Do you think that? Do you guys think that?
I do. I think that there is the finding consistent strain name kind of goal to it, but that, like he said, is so difficult, largely because just getting a systemized supply chain from cultivators, like just the way they operate, that's kind of a difficult goal for them a lot of times. But yeah, I definitely think that most consumers, they'll come in, and if we were to be able to teach them more about like CBD, THC profiles, terpene profiles, then they would know I'm going in, these are the profiles I like, but right now what they know is this is the strain, but they may not know that's because it has this profile. So as soon as that's understood, then the inconsistency in strains may not matter as much as if we have like consistent profiles,
Yeah, and I think it's hard for consumers, right? Like we're going to instantly talk over their heads. Obviously, there's truth, to the terpenes, and it's like more than the THC label. I think you'll hear a lot like follow your nose, like learn to smell it, and then say, oh, if it smells like this, it probably feels good to me or not. That's going to be your shortcut to terpenes more than like the strain names. I think about it with coffee because I like at some point. And I wouldn't say I'm like a huge coffee snob, but I like good coffee. And at some point I realized like, oh, the ones that say like, it's almost like reading wine description. Like the ones that say it's like dark chocolate and fruits are not for me. Like I don't like that. I don't like that taste. I don't like the way. So I think, some of the strains you can chase like that. The other uncomfortable truth with strain names is nobody is certifying that. So, it's not a well-kept secret that there are these like hype train on strains. So if you're going to, let's say, procure genetics, so you're a grower and you're like, okay, this strain is hot, whoever has those clones sitting around will tell you it's whatever it is you want. And there was always a joke in California that it's all just Blue Dream. Like 90% of the strains are just Blue Dream, which is not a bad strain. But you just call it whatever that person says they want. Yeah, of course, that's what that is. Oh, don't ignore the tag that says Blue Dream. It's it's that OG Kush. So I think there's also that, and that breaks down trust. And I do think effects-based, like classifying that more than indica sativa and getting into the effects is good. It can be dangerous. These are psychoactive substances. They affect people differently. So
it's that balance between information and information overload,
right?
And the whole you can kind of again, it's like the whole sort of wine aficionado thing, isn't it? It's the grape notes and this and hints of oak, and it's like, well, what does that mean? I just want to, is it a good wine? Does it taste nice? Great. Will it make me sleep?
Yeah. Does it taste okay? Is it not going to give me a headache? Sold. Like,
absolutely.
Let's
go. And we've only ever been to 2 dispensaries, and that was when we landed, because we just don't have it in the UK,
We went to Sahara 420 because it was the closest one that we thought it was the closest one, and then we went to Relief, and Relief was really nice. Yeah, I think Relief was a bit better than Sahara 420. They were both good. They're both nice. Everyone was really helpful, and super up for it. And
I started my cannabis career at Las Vegas Relief.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where I started.
So what?
2015.
As a tender behind the desk, or
bud tender, ground floor, making close to no money, and
$12.50 an hour.
Yeah, basically that. That's where I started.
Yep.
Yeah.
But $12.50 an hour in a dispensary rather than $12.50 an hour at McDonald's, right?
Right.
And
Well, now
that's gonna be
McDonald's is like
interesting.
$20 an hour.
Is it?
So yeah.
Well, it's still shitty in there. That's the thing as well. I couldn't believe it. I thought, okay, well, this is our first night experience. Okay, put the bags away, get in the room. Let's go to the dispensary. Check it out. Okay, let's try and get some food. May as well just go to McDonald's, and it was just. It wasn't even as good as the ones in the UK. I was very
Not a
disappointed.
great call. Yeah, not a great call.
If you're gonna do a burger, if you're gonna do fast casual and you're gonna do a burger, and you're in any of the Western states, you go to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
That's where you go. There's one by the Link, by the giant Ferris wheel thing in that hall. Do yourself a favor and get In-N-Out.
I think our experience so far, we're kind of like scrabbling around. Everything is so busy, and despite the fact that no one seemingly lives in Vegas, you're the only person we've met so far who lives there. And I looked it up, and the population of Vegas is 600,000, 650,000, something like that.
That's a lot of people. That's a number. There's people that live here.
There is, but for the size of the place,
I think the state is like around 2, maybe closer to 3 now million, and then so it's not the biggest. It's not the biggest of places. It's like kind of a small town, honestly.
but it's just full of everyone else.
Yeah.
Basically.
All the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
all the
all
time.
come visit me. I love it.
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
go anywhere. It's genius. It's really smart.
Yeah, you've got to go with a local. I love Vegas with a local. I had a good friend who worked here for a number of years, and I loved coming out and then just like getting off of the strip. Like, there's great food in this town. Like, there's great bars in this town. Like, you could seeing it as a local is a whole different thing. So,
Someone's making noise. I think we better wrap things up. But thank you both so much. It's been great.
Thank you so much. This has been great.
yeah. Thanks for making the trip all the way across the pond.
Just to speak to you
Yes.
for these, yeah. But no.
Absolutely, it's impressive. And also, thank you so much your LinkedIn account for liking every post I ever make on LinkedIn.
We do our best.
Yep.
I need to make more posts so that they can like more posts.
Yeah, I'm big on LinkedIn.
Alrighty, all the best.